Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode on my channel. I'm Adam and this is Battle of the Beasts New Generation episode number 27. The first battle of round 2, and I got 2 beasts ready for the fight. As you can probably tell by the title, you already know who they are, so there's no point in trying to hide them from you guys. So, let's introduce the beasts that made it through to round 2. On 1, representing Series 17, The Broken Star, is book number 2, Thoron, the Living Storm. In round 1, Thoron was the destroyer of Lycaxa, and that was a very one-sided battle if you ask me. But, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to give my personal opinion on them, but I'm just going to say right now, Thoron's fight against Lycaxa was a bit one-sided. It was very obvious who was going to win that. I'm sure even Lucas can agree that Thoron would win against Lycaxa. And on the other side, his opponent is Lycaxa, Hunter of the Peaks, representing Series 25, the Prison Kingdom. In round 1, Lycaxa killed Wrathcore, the Stampeding Brute. And that one was a bit more closer of a battle. But I preferred Lycaxa versus Wrathcore over Thoron versus Lycaxa. Because Lycaxa versus Wrathcore is more intense, I guess, is the better word for it. But yeah, I did prefer that battle in round 1. But yeah, so here we got Thoron versus Lycaxa. So before we go to the stats, I do need to say that as I said in the summary of round 1, I believe, the battles in round 2 will not take place in the combat arena, as the landlord needs time to repair it after 26 consecutive battles of it being destroyed. So he needs to call Bob the Builder. Over there. Hopefully they can fix it.
I can fix it!
And so we've been evicted from the arena, and now we're just going to be fighting at random places throughout the entirety of the Beast Quest universe. Or kingdoms, I guess. So with Lycaxa versus Thoron, as they were both fought in rather mountainy, rocky terrain areas, it led me to think maybe it would be best to have their fight in a rocky terrain mountain area. So the first thing that came into my mind was actually the Rion. No, is it Rion? No. The mountains in Gwyldor where Rock lives, because I know there's a village somewhere in there, and I cannot for the life of me remember what that village is called. So that's where Thoron versus Lycaxa will be fighting. It'll be in the mountain area of Gwyldor. Rock will not be there though, because Rock was dissolved by Crystal. So don't expect to see Rock there. Not until the next tournament anyway. But with that being said, let's get to the stats.
Thoron the Living Storm, the guardian of one shard of the fabled Broken Star, which rests within its vaporous body. Thoron is a giant swirling cloud, crackling with pulse light, able to take variety of forms. As Tom wondered during his battle with Thoron, how can you defeat a beast you cannot touch?
Questers beware! If you hear Lycaxa's bark, you may already be dead. Even though he's blind, Lycaxa has advanced hearing and the sense of smell. So advanced that he doesn't need his eyes. So, as you can see by his incredible stats, you're in for quite a challenge. Sharp claws, sharp fangs, high sense of smell, high sense of hearing, barks that create rock slides, earthquakes, and crevices depending on the environment, agility, wall crawling based on the poor design. You're in for quite a match against this cunning foe.
3, 2,
1!
Thoron vs Lycaxa. Let's get into this. So, as always, how I narrate these battles, they're completely off the top of my head, so literally any beast can win. But as Lycaxa is prowling around the mountains looking for his prey, he sees what looks like a thundercloud drawing its way in. Lycaxa doesn't see it. He's blind. He hears what sounds like thunder coming in his direction, and he smells the rainwater as it gives off a little odour, not odour, but a smell, which tells you, hey, it's going to rain. Thoron has emerged as the thundercloud and instantly sees Lycaxa and sends a bolt of lightning coming his way. With the crackling noise coming towards Lycaxa, Lycaxa able to hear it and jump out of the way to see that for an explosion on the ground to happen where some rocks go flying. Some of the smaller bits hits Lycaxa, and using his front claws, he picks up 2 nearby rocks that he feels and chucks them in the direction where he heard the thunder coming. However, Thoron sees it and just shapes himself in a way to just avoid it and protects in the precious orb that's inside him, which, if broken, will kill him. I feel like I do need to keep rephrasing that because Thoron is, let's face it, a stupidly overpowered beast when it comes to this tournament. I need to give him a little leeway for where he can be defeated. So it is possible for Lycaxa, and it was possible for Nasefa to beat Thoron. But if Thoron can protect it, he'll be fine. So Thoron decides as Thoron realises that Lycaxa's hearing must be really well. So what Thoron does, he bellows as loud as he can, causing Lycaxa to just shake his head to try and drown out the sound, get rid of the sound from his ears, but it doesn't seem to be working. And as Thoron's doing that, he sends a bolt of lightning going towards Lycaxa. And let's just say, to quote an Imagine Dragons song, Lycaxa felt the thunder. Through the lightning and the thunder. Lycaxa gets shocked really badly, where he just collapses to the ground. And as Thoron's drawn his way in to get a more point-blank shot where the electricity being a lot stronger, he's drawn his way in. Lycaxa's able to get back up and hears the wind blowing past him and senses that Thoron's getting closer. So what he does is he starts picking up rocks with his front claws and chucks them towards Thoron, only for Thoron to just dodge them gleefully. But unbeknownst to Thoron, Lycaxa was doing that as a diversion, so because during that entire time Lycaxa was barking as loud as he can to cause rocks from the top of the mountains to start collapsing down. And after what is the 5th bark, Lycaxa starts hearing the rocks getting close, and he jumps up out of the way of the rocks for them to just tumble down, piling up, coming up towards Thoron. Thoron moves his orb that's inside him to the top of him to protect the orb, whilst the rest of him gets covered up in the rocks as the rest of him just seeps out of the rocks to form back up again, only to be greeted by another rock being pelted by Lycaxa's claw, which actually hits Thoron, but due to Lycaxa's being blind and his accuracy was a bit off and just scraped the orb, where Thoron just bellows in pain and shoots 5 bolts of lightning directly towards Lycaxa. Lycaxa barks and causes the rocks that's already below him that tumble down to pile up, blocking him as like a shield for the thunder or the lightning, where it just strikes and it just explodes, causing rocks to go everywhere. And when the dust cloud clears, Lycaxa's gone. He's actually on the other side of Thoron now, barking again to make another makeshift shield. And what he realizes is that Lycaxa gets a plan. He barks as loud as he can, causing all the rocks that have to come down from the rock slide to tower up around Thoron, going over him as well. Meaning Thoron is now trapped in a best way to describe it, a mausoleum. Which is like a building where dead people get boarded up into. Pitch black, he can't see anything. What Thoron does out of anger, he yells as loud as he can and shoots bolts of lightning in all directions, causing it to just explode. Lycaxa hears it and barks again, causing some remaining bits of rock to just cover him from the rockfall, which works with the cost of his shield. But unbeknownst to Thoron, the rocks that the lightning then shot upwards exploded the rocks upwards, which caused it, because gravity, falls back down, and without him noticing, it knocks the orb right out of his body. Lycaxa hears what sounds like a glass just hitting the side of a desk, but the orb hitting the rocks, and just and what sounds like the rolling away sound. Just I don't know what that was. Thoron losing the orb, as that was also the reason how he's able to form, starts dissipating, I think. Where his form goes all out of control. Thoron is yelling out of in anger, trying to reform himself and get hold of that orb. However, Lycaxa barks, causing another rock slide to fall in between Thoron and that orb. And Lycaxa is on the orb's side of the rockfall. And what he does is he feels around for it, finds it with his claw, picks it up, and smashes it against a rock. The orb smashes into hundreds of pieces. Thoron bellows one more time before completely disappearing. And just to make sure that orb can't refix itself, what Lycaxa does is he barks again, causing a giant chasm to appear with stalactites at the bottom, where the shattered piece of orb falls down, followed by all the rocks that have came down from the rock slide, just crushing all those fragments to pieces. And from the spectators in the village that's inside those mountains, that's why I chose the mountains, by the way, they just see the thundercloud just dissipating in all directions. Lycaxa howls in victory and awaits the next battle. So, Thoron has lost. Lycaxa has won. I honestly thought Thoron was going to win that fight. But somehow my BS wording has made Lycaxa win. I'm not going to argue, because I mentioned how much I dislike this beast. So obviously I have some favoritism. But I promise it wasn't my favoritism towards Lycaxa that made him win. I gave Thoron the victory because of his weakness. I had to give him a weakness, being an orb that controls his form. And if he gets knocked out, he starts separating everywhere. I mentioned this in the summary. And if he gets shattered, he's dead. Simple as. Because I need a way in which Thoron can be defeated. Because Thoron and Okko, especially, those two are main examples, they are virtually indestructible. And I feel like with that, I had to give them a weakness just so the other beast has a chance. I did it with Cobra in the old generation tournament. I did it with Mortax in the specials generation tournament. So it's a thing that I have done before, and I will be implementing in future tournaments as well. But with that being said, Thoron has been eliminated and Series 25 has at least one beast through to the next round. But with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. And I'll see you for the next battle, battle number 28. Peace out.